This is the Leica SL3, which is filming me right now. This is the Leica SL3-S. And here we have the SL3 and here we have the SL3-S. And this is going to be a kind of a wild comparison video. The Leica SL3 was released in March 2024 and the SL3-S was released in January 2025. The SL3 has a 60 megapixel sensor and the SL3-S has a 24 megapixel sensor. So the Leica SL3 I consider more a photo camera and the SL3-S I consider more a video camera. This SL3 is my own. I got it the first day it was released. This SL3-S is not my own. It belongs to Alexander Görlitz from Photo Görlitz. Alex is a very cool guy who from time to time lends me gear to try out and to do videos like this. He owns a Leica boutique in Bünde, Germany. If you ever need new or used stuff from Leica or other high-value photo gear, call him. He's a great guy and he will help you. He lent me this SL3-S for a few weeks to do some videos, which I did. I'm gonna send it back the end of this week, but I'm gonna do now this comparison video and I have prepared another comparison video with the SL3-S. So this is a great moment to subscribe to the channel to not miss the other comparison video I'm gonna do. But now to this video. I'm shooting with both of the cameras at the same time to kind of try out if those are working for video and especially for my YouTube stuff as well. I'm usually doing my YouTube videos with another camera, the Panasonic S5 IIX, so which might be the other comparison I'm gonna do. I will also compare them as photo cameras, of course. I went out and did a photo shooting to compare the colors in their standard settings. And I did a kind of portrait shoot testing with myself as the model. Sorry, couldn't find another one. But it is also a very good way to test out the autofocus in photo. And of course, when you're doing video, the autofocus is essential. And Leica does not have the best reputation in autofocus. The SL2 series really was not that good, even though it got better with firmware updates. Now we have a completely new focus system in both of the cameras. And is it the same? I don't know. We will see. So let's start with the first test. I first tested colors. For that, I went out to my favorite fruit and vegetable store in Berlin called Vitaminchen, and I took several pictures of vegetables and fruits. Let's go first into those apples here. On the left side, we have the SL3. On the right side, we have the SL3-S. And in my view, those colors look absolutely the same. If you go a little bit closer here, it's of course not the same sensor size, so it's a little bit hard to find the exact same apple. On the left side, of course, because we have 60 megapixels, the zoom is a little bit closer. I would say this looks absolutely the same. Let's check some other colors, more the yellowish colors. This time we have the SL3-S on the left side and the SL3 on the right side. I would also say this renders almost the same. We have on the left side again the SL3-S. We have the green tones. In my world, this is the same. And I also took a picture of Ömer, who is working there, to check how the skin tones behave in an outdoor and like mixed light situation. On the left side with the SL3-S, on the right side with the SL3. He turns, of course, his head a little bit more to his right. On the SL3, I am standing in the exact same position. He is standing in the exact same position. The head position is a little bit different. My feeling is that the SL3-S is a little bit more magenta and the skin tone on the right side on the SL3 I like a little bit more. The second test is a portrait shoot test. I put both cameras in serial shots, and that basically means it takes a picture every second. And I had the autofocus on continuous autofocus and on face eye detection. And I just took a series of pictures. I, of course, moved around. I went back and forth so we can see how those behave. On the left side, we have the SL3-S. On the right side, we have the SL3. Here I have the feeling that the focus on the SL3 is not that good. On the SL3-S, it nailed the focus. Here again, the focus on the SL3 missed it a little bit, but I mean, if I zoom them out, they look the same, they look sharp. Here I have the feeling that the skin tones are similar. Here both are sharp on the eyes. Again, skin tones for me look the same. And the one who is further back and not in the direct light. Oh, now it's switched around, so we have the SL3 on the left side and the SL3-S on the right side. Again, I would say the SL3 nailed the focus, the SL3-S as well. Skin tones in the shadows, yeah, look the same. So here I would say, except of the focus, they perform pretty similarly. Then of course they say the Leica SL3-S can see in the dark. I checked that out too. And I also wanted to know if my SL3 also is able to see in the dark. SL3-S on the left side, the SL3 on the right side. Now here we have the absolute same parameters. If we go closer again, we can see that on 6400 ISO, I have the feeling that the SL3-S is a little bit clearer and the SL3 is a little bit softer. If you move to now 64,000 ISO, we can already see here that the SL3 turns greenish in the darker parts. And I would say that the SL3-S still has like a grain, which is kind of organic, which I wouldn't say with the SL3. So the highest possible ISOs are not the same. We have 100,000 on the SL3 and we have 200,000 on the SL3-S. Here it is interesting, we start to see like the stuff that is also in the cellar here. You can even see here our power supplier. The interesting thing now would be if you go, for example, to a, let's say, 1600 ISO, and we maybe just bring up the exposure, we start to see here the rest of the room. So here we can clearly see stuff in the absolute darkest parts. Let's check out if we can do that here as well. We can see if we now compare those. This time on the left side we have the SL3, on the right side we have the SL3-S, and we can clearly see that the SL3-S in a way can see in the dark, which the SL3 can't. I only wanted to know how the autofocus is working, because this is basically what we all want to know. So I took a little Playmobil character from Doc Brown from my favorite movie Back to the Future, and I put him in like a pack shot situation. If I would do a pack shot for a client, and I would just move very, very slowly towards and away from him. And I was hoping, because I also had person and eye detection enabled, I was hoping that maybe he was recognized as a person. So let's see how that test turned out. Last but not least, I of course did like an autofocus walking test, not camera walking, but me walking, I put the camera in our office on one end and I just walked towards it and away from it, and I went in and out of the frame to see how fast the autofocus is reacting. And I got some very, very, very surprising results, even though on the tech specs sheet, they say the autofocus system of the two cameras is absolutely the same. As I said, the SL3 has a 60 megapixel sensor, the SL3-S has a 24 megapixel sensor. The SL3, because of the bigger sensor, is able to do 8K videos, which the SL3-S is not capable of, but the SL3-S is capable of 6K open gate video, which on the other hand, the SL3 is not able to do. Both have an USB-C plug on the side. On the SL3-S, you can connect an external SSD drive to record directly to the drive, which you cannot do at this point on the SL3. Maybe they can enable that in a firmware update. Then we have two other technical differences. The SL3-S is able to do multi-shots in photo. What does that mean? It means that you just take a picture and then the sensor moves a little bit. It takes several pictures and it stitches it together to one large high-resolution picture. So you can have up to 96 megapixel. And the new thing with the SL3-S is that you can do it without a tripod. The SL2 series was able to do that as well, but you needed a tripod because the camera had to be absolutely still. And now with the SL3-S, you can do it from your hand. Let me tell you, the multi-shot feature in the SL3-S was one of the features I was thinking could bring me to the SL3-S and maybe sell my SL3, because the video capabilities in the SL3-S are much more advanced. The SL3 at this point does not have a multi-shot feature, which is very sad, because I would like to have like a 200-something megapixel photo I could do with this camera if this would be possible. The SL2 had that with the 47 megapixel sensor. You could do a multi-shot only from the tripod. With the SL3, this is not possible. But when you take a multi-shot photo, even you can take it with your hand without a tripod right now with the SL3-S, it still needs to stitch it together. And this takes a second or two, which of course is when you do, for example, want to do a portrait. You can do that, but it's very annoying because you have to wait until it's stitched together. So if you want to have larger images, larger megapixels, then you should go with the SL3. The other thing the Leica SL3 does not have, and the Leica SL3-S does have, are the Leica Content Credentials. I'm not going to go into that. I think it's a fantastic feature and I am very sad that the SL3 does not have that. They told us at the moment when the SL3 came out that the development of the feature was not ready when they had to finish up the Leica SL3. So it's a feature that only is in the M11P and the M11D and the SL3-S. All other Leica cameras don't have that yet. You cannot have everything. The SL3-S with the focus much better. The SL3 in video autofocus, I'm a little bit disappointed. So will I exchange my SL3 because of that for an SL3-S? No, I won't. Why? Because I have for video my Panasonic S5 IIX. And I promised I'm gonna do a comparison video. That's the next video that is coming out, a comparison between the SL3-S and the Panasonic S5 IIX. Is it the same camera? I don't know, we will see. But for now, I can tell you I'm gonna keep my SL3 because this is my main workhorse, my main photography camera. For me, it is the best photo camera I have ever used because, and I have to tell that, I am not a sports photographer. I don't take pictures of running animals. I don't take pictures of moving cars. I am a still photographer on my movies. I do pack shots for clients. I do product photography. I do portrait shoots. I don't need the fastest autofocus for that at all. I sometimes even do the portrait shootings with my M cameras, which are manual anyway. So autofocus in photography, for me, it's not the main topic and not the main decision factor. For me, of course, 24 megapixels are enough, but 60 megapixels, I like the 60 megapixels. I love the sensor. I love the files that come out of the SL3. And I only hope that they might please give me multi-shot in the SL3 as well. And I think then I will never buy a camera again. Probably not true. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you already own an SL3-S, check out this video for the menu settings, or this for your SL3 menu settings. Stay curious.